today to have Rich Campy, Pro Advisor Coach, CEO. With that, let's give Rich a warm welcome.
Thanks, BC. It's great to be here. It's always nice to be in Charlotte because I live right over here in Piper Glen, so it's nice to be close and not traveling. I was thinking on my way over here, and last night I was like, wow, I met Brian a little over 10 years ago on a soccer field. I was coaching my son and actually his boys too, and at the time they were only like 3 years old, and they had, they were this little, and now they're 13 years old. It's wild how life changes. But I was thinking even more than that about our relationship, and we're going to talk a lot more about that, is that how do you create more time, money, and fun? How do you leverage and build connections that are really deep and rich, that there's relational currency within your existing client base that you can duplicate your most ideal clients. And so when I was thinking back on that, I said, wow, that was 10 years ago or so, sort of just getting started, and things were happening. I just moved here from Dallas, Texas, and now we're a multi-million-dollar coaching firm with 47 coaches, and I think we're the best coaching firm in the industry, right? We're sought after all over to work with us. We have offices in South Africa, we have offices in South Africa, and then Ireland. We started looking at that this week. So Ontario and Canada. So lots of things happening. I don't say it to impress you. I just say it to impress upon you, is that as you really start to think about your big game and what's so bold and what's so big that it pulls you into the future and what that starts to look like for you, I think we'll have some fun today as we tap into that. So I think we've put together a lot of meat. Brian and I met a couple days ago here and really tightened some things up. So we're gonna work a little bit. We're gonna play along here and have some fun as we go through this day. All right, everyone to play along just a little bit for the next 45 minutes to an hour. All right, good, excellent. So when we look at advisors, now we've worked with tens of thousands, and we found that advisors are really looking for more time, money, and fun. Anyone disagree with that? Right? More time, money, and fun. And to do that, it really comes down to a few things. You've got to retain your assets under management, existing great clients, gather new assets, and duplicate ideal clients. Right? Does anyone disagree that those are some pretty good strategies to make that happen? All right? So let's get to some tactical stuff here. Right? What can we do to make that happen? What does that look like? There's really 5 keys. There's 52 best practices for top advisors. These are the 5. They're the furious 5. I call it the one smack dab punch that just drops your fighter like that. Okay? These are them. And right now I have the opportunity, we work with thousands of advisors, but I'm working right now with 8 advisors personally. The lowest personal income of those 8 advisors is $1.6 million in personal income per year. He works maximum 30 hours per week. Maximum, okay? I believe you need to take more time off to get more time. I absolutely agree with that. Personally, I'm a 20-hour-a-week guy. That's what I like to do. It works well for me. I just started skateboarding 2 months ago. I built a half pipe in my backyard. My son and I built it. $8,000 of wood later, I'm now skateboarding for the first time in my life on this half pipe. It's intense, right? But I started thinking about, like, what is it really about? Time, money, and fun. Time, money, fun. It freaked me out at first when I had more time because I didn't need to work anymore. Right? And I thought, wow, that's kind of a weird feeling. What do you do with it? In fact, there's books written on this called Halftime. What do you do with the rest of your life when you don't need to work? What happens? Right? So there's a much bigger picture around this, and I think the fear of why we don't do it is the fear of success. I'll tell you what, it's a weird feeling when I don't need to work anymore. And I'm sure lots of you have dealt with clients that are retiring, going through that stage where they don't have to be working anymore. Right? And they're kind of in that weird stage, like, what do I do with the rest of my life? Where do I go with that? What does it look like? 3 years ago, I received a very difficult phone call. So I'm on my way to the office. My dad called me from Chicago. It was December 1st. It was early in the morning. It was raining. And my dad said, Rich, I got some bad news. I said, what's going on? He goes, I've been just diagnosed with cancer. I said, well, how much do you know about it? He goes, I don't know that much about it yet, but we'll find out some more in the next few days. A couple days later, we learned that it was terminal, and they gave him 3 months to live. I flew out there, and over the next 7 months, I spent almost 7 months in Chicago with my sister, getting him to the best doctors, spending time with him, talking about his his life, his legacy, what it was about. I spent so much quality time with him. 2 things I learned from that. He passed away 7 months later, and I was so grateful for the advisor that we had in Chicago because it made that process so much better. If we would have had to deal with his finances, his estate, his buy-sell agreements, his key man insurance, if we would have had to deal with all that stuff and it wasn't set up the right way in the beginning, it would have been a nightmare. My sister and I put all our focus into spending time with my dad. So I'm telling you, what you do is so important, and it makes such a difference in so many lives. It was a huge blessing that that advisor and my dad had spent the time and set that up the right way. It would have been a nightmare to deal with that. And I'm so grateful for all of you and for your industry, and I absolutely love it. The other thing that happened when that happened is I realized, wow, I took almost 7 months off. I came back, my business had not only survived, but it grew while I was away. And I said, that is huge. That you can build a business that withstands the test of time, that if you leave, it not only lives and it continues to grow. Are you really leaving a legacy? Or if you stop and you don't go to work tomorrow, does your revenue stop? How are you really setting it up? And I thought, man, that's powerful. If you can set up a business, if you can set up a model that you're working on your business versus in it. You know what our staff meetings look like? We have staff meeting every week. And we say to ourselves, how do we add more relational currency to our best clients? How do we do that? And how do we put a process in place that is duplicatable over and over and over again so that our clients are feeling so much value from what we do that it goes far beyond what they could ever expect? Okay? And that's what we're going to go through, is to really start to understand. I was in a very discouraging call the other day. It was with an agency of 400 advisors out of Philadelphia, and one of our coaches had asked me to come in because there was a bigger opportunity around. I said, happy to join you, jump on the call with the 2 partners, the 2 owners. So we're on the call, and the first thing the coach said, now this coach that we have on our team, he was $1 million plus in personal income for 10 years straight, said, what am I going to do next? I said, you should come coach with us. You've got the experience, you want to get back to the industry, you know what works, you know what doesn't, right? So he comes on board, he gets in the call, and he said, hey, Mr. Partner, I just got my statement, and you know, it's good stuff, I really appreciate it. The partner responds back, oh great, how long have you been with our firm? He responds back, our coach says, I've been with you guys for 8 years. The partner says, who's your advisor? And Todd stopped, he said, I have no idea. I have no idea. This guy's worth millions of dollars, and the advisor, he has no idea who his advisor is. And I thought, wow, how common. I mean, it sounds like, oh, you know, how can that happen? But how common is it? You guys have built practices over time. In the beginning, what happened? Anyone that breathes or fogs up a mirror, come work with me, baby, right? And then over time, you get more and more and more and more clients. How much time have you spent to really understand your most ideal clients and serve them at a level that's just unbelievable, right? So let's take a look at how we do that. So here are the pieces. We have to stop and work on our business versus in it. That's the first thing, right? That's why we wrote the Off-Season. I wrote it with Walter Bond. Many of you may have heard before. We wrote a book together, hit the bestseller list. Working on your business versus in it. This is a dangerous, dangerous trap because we're so busy thinking, oh, I have to pay the bills, you know, I have to make that money come in, I have to this, that we don't stop to really look at our business and say, how do we want to design this? I have a blank canvas. What does this look like for me? So taking intentional time to design your business. Just like a football player or a basketball player takes off-season. Walter Bond said, you know what, Rich? I played great in the NBA, but the reason I played so great is because my off-season time. I was a beast. I always stay on those courts late. I always practice my free throws. What I practiced in private, I got rewarded for in public. How much time are you actually spending working on your business? Are you caught up in that trap of reacting and just spinning every day and just going through the motions? Tough spot, right? 3 months ago, director at our church said, hey Rich, we're doing a play. Are you interested in being the lead role? I said, how hard can it be? I speak all the time. Sure. 280 hours later, right? I don't know if any of you have done plays before, acting. I mean, this is the first one I've ever done. serious commitment. I didn't realize, I didn't know what I didn't know, right? But to take that time to be able to say, you know what, it's cool. And I did it and pull up, spend all that time on it, and feel really good about it and know the business is still going. So are you taking the time to work on your business, or are you caught up where someone approaches you with something and says, there's no way I can even do that. I'm so busy. Rich, what's going on? How's it going? It's creative. It's not busy anymore. In fact, I would say busy is being under Satan's yoke. Be careful. Be careful. Because the busier you are and the more you're running around, how much creativity are you really putting in your family, your business, and your life? We are meant to create. Are you spending the time creating? Right? To have that creative genius time. All right. So here are the parts. Number one, accountability awareness. You have to understand yourself. Where are you going? Number two, we have to build some type of action plan. And number three, we have to achieve. We have to execute to make it happen. Let's start with this first one. Vision. Where there is no vision, the people will perish. Yet I find it over and over and over and over again. When I ask advisors, tell me about the vision of your firm. Where are you going? Tell me about the vision 2-3 years from now. Where's your family? Where are you headed? That there's no clue. But yet, it's so critical, right? So what is a vision? If you open up your workbooks here, here's some key pieces of a vision. This is the first part, right? You got to start to look at what is that about. What is your vision about? What does it really look like for you? And this thing should pull you into the future. Oh, here, just this one. Right here you go. It should pull you towards where you're going. Right? It should get you up early. Wake you up creative, you know, in the morning. It's like, oh, bing, my eyes open. It's like, wow, another day that's pulling me towards this new place. Right? What is your vision like within your business? What does that look like? So just play with that a little bit there in that box and toy with your vision. If you could not fail, what would that start to look like for you? If you could not fail, what would your vision look like? And you may not know it exactly, but write down some ideas. You know what? I want to be off. I want to work 20-hour weeks. I want to work from 50 to 40, or I want to just work with my top 50 clients, or I want to be the most well-known advisor for doctors, or I want to work with CPAs and alliance partnerships, or I want to have the best process possible for my most ideal clients. Whatever that is, start to play with what is that vision for you. So many advisors get stuck in this. Why? Because they want to have the perfect vision. Oh, once it's perfect, then it'll be there. Or it's a vision for their clients. This is a vision for you. What is it about? What's on your heart? What's on your mind? What does the future look like? If you could wave your magic wand 1 year from now, what does that look like? Start to play with that. Now wait a minute, you guys said you play full out. We seeing some writing here? This is that part of stretching those muscles. You know what happens when you go to the gym? How does the muscle get stronger?
Break it down.
It breaks down. And then what? It grows? Yeah, so here's the thing. When we're kids and we see a puddle in the middle of this parking lot, what happens? Oh, baby, we're jumping in it. I know my kids still, they see puddles. Daddy, can we jump in the puddle? Right? Then we get a little bit older, and what happens when we see the puddle? We walk around it, right? Then we get a little bit older, and we see the puddle, and then what happens? Walk around it, and we usually bitch about it at the same time. That darn puddle's in my way. Okay? That's what happens over life. We get sort of locked into that pattern or that trap, just like the CD plays. Right? So let me ask you this. Is there anyone in this room that does not want more time, money, and fun? Okay. So all willing to play full out for the next 35 minutes, say aye. All willing to play for the next 35 minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion's carried. I want you to play like kids again, because that's when we learn. See, we sit there and we yawn and we think about the meeting. I got to check my text. I got to do this other stuff, and all that happens. You got to interrupt those patterns, right? It starts with working out those muscles, right? That's what coaching does, because you can't get away. You say, okay, I'm going to do this. Then you got the accountability. We run patterns. In fact, people ask me all the time, Rich, are you going to put the people in a trance? I said, no, I'm here to break the trance. Because we are most of the time walking around like zombies going through the motions of life and not being intentional about designing or creating our future. We're caught in the trap, right? So to play full out. So get it down. What's some of your vision? What does that look like? Pieces of it, parts of it, one word, one sentence, you know, 2 sentences. What is it? and I want you to share it with your neighbor. So get it down, and I want you to share it with the person next to you. So get your vision down, create a little accountability to have some fun with it. So get some pieces of your vision down. You've got 30 seconds to get your vision down. Now, you're saying, what is he crazy? This is a vision. It's got to be perfect. That's unreasonable. But I know if I stretch you in this short period of time and it opens up a little window, right? A little piece, and some of you are breaking out in a sweat. 30 seconds, that's unrealistic, okay? But when you go to the gym, like Crowley and I went and worked out this morning, 8 sets of 8, and that bench, man, those last few reps were like, no way, it's going to kill me. But that's how we grow, right? That's how the muscles grow. So you got 20 more seconds. Get some pieces down to your vision. What does that start to look like? Keywords. 1 year from now, how much revenue are you going to make? How much time do you want? What does it look like for your ideal clients? Do you serve any specific clients? How many total clients do you have? What's your brand? You know, what are some ideas about where you want to go? What does that start to look like? Get it down. You got 15 more seconds. I gave you a bonus. Okay. All right. Everyone stand up. Yes, I do play full out. Stand up on your counters. All right. I want you to share your vision or some of your ideas with 3 people. 3 people. Share your visionary ideas with 3 different people. Okay? And here's the deal. I want you to do it in a playful state. All right. So when we meet someone for the first time, okay? Let's say it's a CEO, right? We meet some CEO, we say, oh, it's nice to meet you, right? And then we got the second one, and I'm really shy, like, why does this guy have me walking around like this? You know, I'm kind of like this, right? Nice to meet you. But what if we hadn't seen our best friend in 10 years? Our best friend in 10 years, we had not seen him. They're from college or from wherever, and we hadn't seen him in 10 years. What does that start to look like? Hey, what's up? What's your name? All right, so here's what, now, which one do you enjoy giving the most typically? Well, I'm going to ask you after you do it. All right, so here's what you want to do. Introduce yourself to 3 people as if they're your best friend, you haven't seen him in 10 years, and then share your vision in that state of mind. Ready? Go. Go, go, go. Tell me about your vision. Let me tell you. He's on to something. Good, good. Switch. Share the love. Share the love. Switch. Go. All right, good. Grab a seat. 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 Grab All right, good. Share some ideas with me. What did you hear about other people's vision? What were some things that you heard about other people's vision? What did you hear from other people? Some ideas. Yeah. Yeah. All very different visions. Okay, good. Because it's unique as a fingerprint. Perfect. What else did you hear?
They're boring.
Some of them are boring. Okay. All right. What else you got? Good. What else? You're boring? Okay, yours is boring. Okay, good. What else you got?
Everybody.
What?
Everybody wants to manage more money.
Everyone wants to manage more money. It's a big part of the vision. Okay, good. What else?
More time off.
People want more time off. Good. Okay. Anything else? Yeah, there's some trends, right? Time, money, and fun tends to run through a lot of this stuff, for sure. All right? So I give you 10 more seconds, jot more a few things. You might have had a few ideas there. Capture those before we flip to the next page. What else might have you come up with there? Where are you around that? Okay. Here's our vision. To be the most sought-after coaching firm for financial advisors on the planet with the highest measurable advisor ROI in time, money, and fun through innovation, world-class coaches, and best practices. 10 years ago when I did a keynote for Woodbury, I don't know if any of you were there. I think someone, maybe Steve was there, Steve Rice and Ken Miller or something. In the very beginning, I went out there, 7 coaches. It was about, I don't know, 900 advisors in that conference room at that time. We had like 650 advisors take a tool that we have called the Mind Scan. And the feedback was, Rich, love your stage presence, awesome stuff, but the coaches on the back end, I mean, come on, they're not at the level that we need them to be. I thought, wow. You know, so a huge shift I made over the last 10 years, I thought, our coaches have been so extremely successful in the industry, and most of them have retired, very successful, and they call me and say, I can only play so much golf. Can I coach and help some other people out? Because they're about leaving that legacy. Such a cool, natural fit, right? So it's neat to upgrade, to really start to look at how do you get the best coaches. Because back then, I was like, okay, you're a coach, you're a coach, you're a coach, you're a coach. But to really up the game. Cool, it keeps me going. All right, so let's turn to favorable introductions in your workbook. Favorable introduction. Let's ask some questions. Now, some people call this referral, love it. I call it favorable introductions. I like to change the language. Referrals works really well also, but I call them favorable introductions. Ask some questions. Write these answers. How many ideal, qualified, coachable clients do you currently have? How many ideal, qualified, coachable clients do you currently have in your book of business? Write it down. And give me a number. Throw out a number. How many does someone have? How many ideal, qualified, coachable clients do you currently have?
20.
20? Okay, someone else? Another number? 50? Okay, good. Anyone else? Okay, give you an idea, it's typically around 10% of your total client base. Okay, it's about 10% of your total client base should be ideal, qualified, coachable. It may be as high as 20, but it's somewhere between 10 and 20%. And typically, 20% of your most ideal clients, 20% total, make up 80% of your revenue, right? It's the 80-20 model, the math plays out, right? 80-20. So look at your top 10%. So you've got 1,000 households total, you probably have around 100, okay? If it's 2,000, you may have 200, right? Maybe a little less than that, maybe a little bit more, but just kind of an idea, 10%. What is the value of one ideal client for you? One ideal client, upfront pop, revenue on the front end, and what's the trail for 1 year, okay? What's the value of one ideal client for you? If you got one new ideal client, or one of your existing clients, but if you got one new ideal client, what would the value of that client be to you? What would be the value of one new ideal client for you? Okay, now take your total ideal clients that you have, if it were 20, multiply that by 6. By the way, here are the numbers, okay? Here's what we found. On the lowest end, if you have a process to get referrals or favorable introductions, on the very lowest end, according to our research and working with clients and what we've seen, if you have a process, you should be getting a minimum of 6 ideal referrals per ideal client per year. Minimum. 12 is what we like to see. So if you had 20 up here, your answer down here is going to be what? 120. Right? 120 favorable ideal client referrals per year. Those are the numbers. Alright? If you have a process in place that's duplicatable and sustainable, that's what you get. Give you an example. One of the guys that we coach, Tom Mangone, we follow the process internally. We get 420 favorable introductions per month in our company. 420. Okay? Tom Mangone is an example. #1 advisor at AXA this last year. #1. Okay? We got 52 favorable introductions from him last month alone. And I'm talking about an introduction all the way through to where he's making a phone call or having a conversation with us or sending an email and copying us on that email. Okay? All the way through the process. All right? So you should be getting 6 times whatever your ideal clients are. Okay? What is your close ratio when you have an ideal client appointment? What is your close ratio? What do you think? 50%, 60%, 80%? If you got a referral, favorable introduction from one of your most ideal clients, and you go to that meeting, how often will you close them? Most advisors think it's about 80%. Okay, somewhere in that range. Some think as high as 100. Oh my gosh, favorable introduction, no brainer, right? Okay, what is that for you? Now take your total closes times your new ideal clients. Alright, so for example, if you said, I get 100 favorable introductions, if that was your number, and you're saying I have an 80% close ratio, then you're going to have 80 new clients. Okay? Take your 80 new clients, multiply that by the revenue from an ideal client, and look at your number. It's fairly staggering. Right? This is how we've grown at 50% a year every year. This is why that vision in the future's got to be big and bold, right? To put something out there. Somebody going, there's no way. Well, yeah, because you're saying that to yourself over and over. I work out, good buddy of mine played for the Panthers, and I'm working out in the gym. I said, I can't do anymore. I can't. He goes, well, now you can't. I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, you just keep saying it to yourself again and again. If you'd stop saying you can, maybe you'd have a chance at it. So many people stop because they mess up their thinking and they ask all these questions and they focus on the wrong stuff and they don't even give themselves a chance because they're walking around in a prison all day long. Okay? So look at it. Isn't it staggering how big it can be? If you start to, what are some numbers around that? What did somebody come up with? 1,400,000. 1,400,000? Okay? What else? Let me ask you, with 1,400,000 of additional revenue, could you have more time?
I'd have a lot more fun.
And you'd have a lot more fun. You'd have a lot more fun, absolutely. Okay? Good. What else? Anyone else have a number? How many new ideal clients? Even go conservative, cut it in half. Right? Start to play with that, really understand it. All right. So here's the gap. We have interviewed your clients. We've interviewed thousands of clients of advisors because we want to understand really what's going through those client heads. What's happening there? The end game. What are your clients saying about you? So let's answer these questions. How many ideal clients know they are ideal? So take your ideal clients. Put the number on the very top. How many do you have total? You said you had 50 or 100 ideal clients? Okay? Let's answer the first question. How many of your ideal clients know that they are ideal? Go with a percentage. Give me a percentage. What is it? I'll tell you the industry standard from what we've interviewed. Okay? What do you think? Huh? 50%? Okay, what else?
5%.
What else?
30%.
Okay, it's about 7% overall. Now wait, let me get this straight here now. 7% as an industry know that they are ideal. Is there a problem here? That's just the first question. Let's keep going here, okay guys? Next one. How many of your ideal clients know specifically why they are ideal? Specifically. Not just that they're ideal, but know specifically why. You know, I'm ideal because I'm in this geography or because we have a good relationship. I tell you, Brian and I go back 10 years and we've done lots of stuff together. There's tons of relational currency. If his boys call me whenever in the middle of the night or they're playing the house or they need something, I am there for him. And he's the same thing with my kids. That's the way the relationships is. If you have your ideal clients or your alliance partnerships, how much relational currency is really there? Because we will do anything to help each other. Right? Are you like that with your ideal clients? Tom McGunn, our top guy with AXA, we talk all the time, 3 or 4 times a day, about different things, where he's going, what's going on in his family, what's happening here, what's going on there. Right? He's out doing a keynote now for all of AXA, #1 in the country. We talked about it, reviewed it, he called me, he texted me. Right? How much communication? I thought I was going to throw up when I heard one of our coaches on the phone with his top firm. And then we started looking at that and he said, one thing we need to work on is our ideal client referral process. The partner said that. top ideal client, I'm sure he's got to be high. I mean, the guy's making $1 million+ per year. He's an angel investor, has lots of connections, and he says, I have no idea who my advisor is. How many of your clients that you got way back when now all of a sudden grew up and they're in this new place, and they could be ideal now and you don't even know it? All right? So how many specifically know they're ideal? This is even smaller, goes down to about 2%. Next one. How many ideal clients know, specifically where I got that one, how many ideal clients know you want to grow your business? Oh, this one was shocking. How many know for a fact that you want to grow your business? What do you think? What percentage? 0%? Okay. Good. Who else? What do you think? How many know for a fact that you want to grow your business? What else? A little bit higher. Okay, this is about 22%. 22% know that you want to grow your business. All right, number 5. How many ideal clients can accurately articulate your value proposition? Now this is a big one, because most advisors don't even have a value proposition in the first place that's specific enough. But how many could identify and explain it? What do you think that is? Yeah, we're pretty low, around 4% or so. Okay. How much relational currency connections do you have per ideal client annually? Now I'm not, okay, so this is relational currency. This is Brian and I working out together in the morning. This is Brian and I going to play golf. This is Brian and I getting together and strategizing about this meeting. This is Brian and I having our kids play soccer together. This is Brian and I chatting it up on the phone late at night about something that's going on with their families. How many conversations do you have with your most ideal clients that put currency, relational currency, back and forth? Jamie Crowlin, I've known him for 8 years. We had breakfast together, we worked out. There's relational currency. Relational currency with my neighbors. They come by and want to sell me Girl Scout cookies. I don't care how much they are, I'm buying them. There's relational currency. How much relational currency? Or are you just doing your quarterly reviews? Quarterly review, go through the numbers, quarterly review. If you're doing those, how much time are you spending with your most ideal clients to build a relationship? Guys, I got news for you. We're not selling products, we're selling hopes and dreams. It's much bigger than the product side. Right? Much bigger. How many conversations do you have with them about their kids and where they're going? Do they like art? Do they like football? Do they like basketball? Do they want to play golf? Do they want to go to musicals? One of our coaches, Jim Schlesinger out of Chicago, a great guy, he's the one I said that retired and said, I can only play so much golf, I want to coach. And he was talking to a client that we were working with, and the client said, I'm not sure about that whole thing. He goes, I've got some clients, they seem to be ideal. And Jim said, well, do you spend time with them? And the advisor said, no. He goes, why not? He goes, I just don't like them. I just don't like them. Oh, well, that's pretty interesting. Your ideal clients better be people you like. Okay? The demographics, the stuff we can measure, which we're going to get into in a minute, how much money they make, what's the recurring revenue, how much assets they have, okay? That's part of the puzzle. Even more importantly is the psychographics. I hang around with Brian because I like Brian. I like his family. I like his values. I like his character. I like that he wants to work out. I like that most of the time he wants to work out. I like all that stuff about him, and we have a good time with that. By the way, he's committed Monday. We're kicking it in again, right? So it's bigger than just what's going on the demographic side, right? All right, I'm going to hit this one again at the end here because that'll tie together. Here's the second one. Sweet spots. What we found with top advisors, okay, they spend 80% or more of their time in no more than 3 sweet spots. 80% or more of your time in no more than 3 sweet spots. So what do you mean by that? Your passion, what are you the most excited about? Your purpose, where do you have natural God-given ability? And your profit, where do you make the most revenue? Okay, 80% of your time. For me, as an example, I work with 8 ideal clients that I'm working with. I do some speaking engagements like this, and I work with our top coaches. That's 80% of my time in those areas. That's how you create time. And then you're having fun all the time, consistently. Almost all the time, but a lot of the time. Think about it. If you're doing stuff you love all the time, you're great at doing it, and you're making a lot of money, isn't that a good fit? Yeah, it works well, right? And this is not uncommon that we don't know our sweet spots, right? And even if we know them, it's typically somewhere around 10 to 15, 20%, depending on how much money you're making, right? And where you are on the whole thing, that you're spending that much time in your sweet spot. Let me give you some ideas, some great sweet spots for advisors. Spending time with your strategic alliance partnerships, your ideal strategic alliance partnerships. It might be CPAs, attorneys, P&C firms. It might be spending time with your most ideal clients, both existing and new. It might be spending time with your staff or your own advisors, or your junior partners. I don't know. It's what it is for you, but you got to start somewhere, right? There's 4 levels of learning. Number 1, unconscious incompetence. What does it mean? Unconscious incompetence. What is it? We don't know what we don't know. Unconscious incompetence. Next level is what? Conscious incompetence. We know it, but we're still messing it all up. Okay? 3rd level, conscious competence. We know it, and we're starting to do it right. Next level, unconscious competence. We don't even think about it; it just happens. You know. So think about it. We learn to walk. We learn to talk. How many times do you think we fell down trying to walk? Lots of times. Thousands, probably, right? Yet we start to grow up, and then we don't want to trip up. We don't want to mistake. So quickly, write down purpose, passion, profit. What is it that you really enjoy? Just jot down a few things. Passion, what are you excited about? Profit, what generates the most revenue? Jot down a few things quickly. Good. Get some ideas here. What might that be for you? What might some of your passion, purpose, and profit? Just get some ideas down there. What do you enjoy? For me, as an example, one of my passions is I love to sing. I am terrible at singing. It's not part of my purpose. When I am in church with my kids, I'm belting out, and they both bump me and say, "Stop singing so loud. Sing softer, Daddy, softer." Okay? So I love it, but I'm not good at it. God did not give me the gift of singing like that. Okay? There's other things that I'm really good at. I can analyze numbers and do things quickly on a computer. If someone says, put this spreadsheet together, create these calculations, create this PowerPoint, technology, boom, I'm all over. I'm very good. I just pick it up. I jump in quickly. I love technology. I'm pretty good at it. But it's not necessarily a revenue producer. So we have a development team of 12 developers that they do that stuff. Right? It's not a revenue producer, but I'm really good. Some of you have this trap. I love putting the plans together. I love it, and I'm good at it. But it doesn't make you any money, and you can duplicate it. Okay? Next page, write down what those sweet spots might be for you. What are your sweet spots? What could they look like? Is it spending time with my alliance partners, my ideal clients? Is it, maybe it is preparing the plan for me. Maybe you're getting paid by the hour. Every time you sit down to do a plan, you're getting $1,000 an hour, or $1,000 a plan immediately. Maybe it is, I don't know. What are your sweet spots? What do they look like for you? And then quickly jot down below that, what percentage of time are you currently spending in those sweet spots? What do you think? 10% in this one, 15% here. What are they for you? Great. Remember, that first bucket there was awareness. We've got to create awareness, because if we don't create awareness, it's hard to even go anywhere. We have to understand, where are you currently? All right. Let's get into client segmentation. So now you should have one that says demographic up. Show you how this works. Stay on that page, demographic, in your workbook, all right? Here's what happens. Get into business. We have a few things here. We've got all the way to the top, high revenue, bottom, low revenue. Effort to serve. Right side, effort to serve, really high. Effort to serve over here, really low. Then we get clients. Anyone that breathes, typically when we first start the business, oh, they breathe. Okay, I'll take them, right? And we get some more people. And they keep adding, and we have all these clients. Over time, here's what happens, though. They end up in a grid, all right? High value, high revenue over here, probably some ideal clients. Danger, over here. This is the ones your competitors will take from you and you will take from your competitors. I get concerned if a client, a coaching client, falls off the grid, they're not having calls, they're not doing assignments, we're not catching up, they're gone. They may be paying the money, but they're short-lived, right? Same thing with you. Do you have clients that you haven't talked in a while that, oh, I love those clients. Boy, they got all these assets with us, but I haven't talked to them forever. They're perfect. Danger. Those are the ones that you will lose. Okay? And those are the ones you will get from your competitors. Okay? Then you got these over here, right? They're high effort to serve, but they're not qualified. You don't make any money from them at all. And then you got these down here. Oh boy, you got to clear those out. There's no revenue. Okay? So we have this grid. So on your demographic here, I want you to circle your top 5 demographic values that you see in your most ideal clients. When you think about your ideal clients, what are the top 5 demographic values that resonate to you? Okay, what are the top 5 demographic values? Circle them. Just circle them. Say, age. You know what? Age is so important to me. They've got to be between 55 and 65. They've got to be in their mid-40s. They have to be over 70. Or contribution level. You know, I have one client that we work with, one of his goals, he says, I want to donate at least $150,000 this year in contributions. I love that. I like that guy. Right? If that's important to you. What is important about your most ideal clients? Circle the 5 top most important demographic values for your ideal clients. Good. What are some of them? What'd you come up with? Throw them out quickly.
Income.
What?
Income.
Income. Okay. What else? Recurring revenue. Okay. What else? Good. Excellent. What else? What? Okay. Number of referrals. Excellent. What else? Multiple products. Good. Okay. Psychographics. What's most important to you about the psychographic? These are the other values. These aren't as measurable. What's important to you about the psychographics? Psychographics.
Circle here, 5.
Yep, circle 5 here too. Yep, you got it. Excellent. Circle 5. Good. Okay, what'd you come up with there? Quickly, some ideas?
Personal values.
Personal values, okay. Good job stepping up first. Another book, All Butts Stink, Walter Bond, partner of ours, good. Coachable, good. Another book, Guerrilla Marketing, another one of our strategic partners, Guerrilla Marketing specifically for financial advisors.
Values advice.
Now, notice what just happened. What happened? The relational currency, the value increased, and naturally people respond more. I didn't even say anything about it. Now we got 3 or 4 people responding at the same time. And if I kept doing it, and kept doing it, and kept doing it, it would keep going up until everyone was fully engaged. Think about it. If you start adding more value to your most ideal clients, things will happen. You will get more ideal clients, you will go upstream, you will get better clients, you will have more fun, you will have more time, period. It's just like that. Simple example, took minutes. Minutes. The value went up, you engage more. Okay? Alright, so you got your 5, you got your 5. Here's where we're headed now. Okay, now go to the next page. On the ideal client grid, list what you came up with in your demographics right here on the left side. List them. What do you have there? Did you put down I think someone said total referrals. Phil said total referrals. Another one of you said total income, right? List your 5 on the left. What time is lunch? Is that the next thing on the agenda?
Right now.
Started a little bit late. Can we get 5 more minutes?
Sure.
Okay. Everyone all right with that? 5 more minutes. We'll stretch and really push through it. Finish up. You good? All right. All right. So here's what you want to do here. For example, if it were age, this is your 5. This is the highest score someone could get. So in your most ideal client, what would that mean? 50, 70, 60, 80, whatever that is. And then here's your lowest score here as a 1. Okay? So now you want to take that one and we're going to quantify it. Score of 1, score of 2, score of 3, score of 4, score of 5. 5 is in the up. So you get the idea. Put that first one in there just so you have it. You can complete this later. All right. Next page. You get the idea there. I'm going to skip through it. The service, you've got both, right? So you're going to have both your demographics, then you're going to take your top 5 for your psychographics. Okay? Then what you're going to do is basically come up with a scoring system and a service grid. This is a systemic process to add value to your most ideal clients. It just flat out works. Okay? You want to have more time, money, and fun? Have a vision, have the sweet spots. Put a service grid in place. Put away some way that you are tracking and measuring to add value via touch points, service grids, a market grid, right? And then this is a big one too, right? Take your top 20 overall and put a plan in place on how you're going to connect with them. What's the process you have in place to add value to your most ideal clients? And we have really, I mean, this is such good stuff. I mean, no matter how strong you are in the business, I take an example with Tom, and we're going through this right now, and we've done it already once, and we're going through it again, and it's amazing. We get through like the 3rd client, and he's just like shaking out of his skin. He's like, oh my, just this one ideal client alone can bring me 40 new clients this year. Just one. Then we go to the next one, he's like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I can't believe this has been just sitting out there for so long. Okay? But you gotta focus on it. You gotta stop and work on your business. We're so busy running, not stopping and working on our business. This flat out works. I promise you it works. Okay? All right, next one. Then we want to look at per month. What are the things that you're going to do in the touch point strategy? Our newsletter tied in with the other one. All right, let's hit action plan real quick. We use an online system that tracks and measures everything, makes it easy so it's all in one tight place. Here's an overall map, vision on top, right? But then to really get fun, what's your unique value to your unique clients and your mission? What are your big rocks, your KPIs, key performance indicators? What are you going to track and measure to know you're successful? Right? What are your strategies, projects, and critical activities? Here's Tom Mangone. Here's his dashboard. Next coaching call. What are his key performance indicators? What his run rate? You know, what his actual is? What are his next assignments for the next coaching call? We do a 360 around your full life. How motivated you are, how satisfied. What's going on in your health? What's going on in your relationships? Right? Because that stuff ties in. If that stuff's going well, everything sort of rises together. And we just created a My Avatar so you can start competing against other advisors. Sort of a fun game, because I love iPads and iPhones and droids and all that tech stuff. I thought, oh, how cool would that be to create a game out of the whole thing that we can compete, right? Add value. We're sitting in a meeting, we say, what do we need to up the game? We need to put a whole new system, process in place, make it fun for the advisor, sticky, even better, right? Just this quarter, we put $40,000 just in technology alone. I was talking to Tom, he did a keynote in New York, and I was out there, he was keynoting, and it was a big audience, and he said, you know what, it's about 30% you should invest back in your business. I said, wow. I said, that's a lot. He goes, you know what, that's why we are where we are. You know, how much are you doing to invest back into yourself and your business? Right? Trend report, pass this out real quick, and we'll wrap up here. All right, so I'm wrapping up. Trend report. Take a look at this. Where were you in 2010 total households? Where in 2011, 2012? Total work hours. Where were you then? I remember Carolyn Polston. 39 years, 65 plus hours working per week. 65 hours a week. For that long, I was like, oh my gosh. Now she's about, what, maybe 20, 25 hours a week. Making more than she made before when she worked 65. Okay? It's not work harder, it's work smarter. So again, this is just a good tool to use. Last piece, this is all I need to wrap it up. Coachability index. Alright? Here's what I want you to do. Brian and I are going to meet after this. We will decide based on your coachability index who we will work with. Okay? Based on your coachability index. Based on how you fill this out, timing may not be good, may not be a good place, you might not be coachable. Perfect. We only want to work with the most ideal people, ideal advisors that want to grow their business, that want to take it to the next level. Fill out the coachability index, and Brian and I are going to get together. We'll review these, and then we'll select probably no more than 6 or 7 of you total in the room. Brian's got some additional things he can do to help you out and things like that. So we'll make it work for you, but we'll probably only select, right, the most ideal advisors, which is the same thing we're recommending you do. Pick the most ideal clients and duplicate them. We only want to work with the most ideal advisors. If you're not a good fit, great. We don't chase anyone anymore. No more phone call, phone call, phone call. They don't call us back. Why? There's so many new people coming in. Let's work with the ones that want to work with us. Oh, pleasure. Good stuff. So much better. Checking people down, chasing them down for the reviews, right? Work with the people that want to work with you. Then you get more referrals, more favorable introductions, right?
No preconceived number, just however you fill it out and the interest level is what we'll do.
Yeah, exactly. And then give yourself an overall score on the bottom. With that, I look forward to hearing about all your success. I'll be around at lunch if you have any questions, and we'll catch you next. Give it back up for Brian.
All right, thanks, Rick.
Good job. All right. Obviously, a lot of stuff coming at you here the first half of the day. Appreciate you taking a few minutes getting that filled out. And then we're going to have lunch over in the other room over here. So we're going to have some time to socialize a little and relax, have some good food, nourishment, and be ready to go for the second half. We want to get started right at 1 with our 1 o'clock scheduled speaker. That's not going to be, we don't want to miss a minute of that. So thanks, Rick. Appreciate it.